spent 10 years studying the stock market. Just as I finally became a fund manager, my parents went bust and were about to jump off a building. But watching this unfold, instead of panicking, I started laughing like a maniac. Because I had waited over 20 years for this day. Seeing me act like a lunatic, my colleagues thought the shock of my parents' suicide attempt broke my brain. But what they didn't know was, I wasn't the man I was a moment ago. I was from 20 years in the future. In the original timeline today, my parents got wiped out when the Hong Kong market crashed. Unable to handle the pressure, they jumped from the roof. But what they didn't know was that 48 hours later, the market bottomed out and rallied 7,000 points, hitting a historical high. That became the biggest regret of my life. Even after I became the world's greatest investment god, worth billions, that scar tormented me every single day. But then, the impossible happened. Just now, I was sent back to the exact moment before they jumped. I sprinted toward the rooftop, desperate to save them. In my past life after they died, I went home and analyzed the data Dad left behind. I realized his formula was actually correct, but our relative Uncle Saul wanted to cut his losses. He not only froze Dad's credit cards, but also spread rumors, making it impossible for Dad to borrow money to cover the margin. That's why they missed the dawn that was coming in 48 hours. Thinking of this, I ran up the stairs with everything I had. The next second, I saw Dad holding Mom's hand ready to leap. I screamed at the top of my lungs, "Dad!" Hearing my voice, they turned around, their faces filled with shame. "Sean, Dad is sorry. I've ruined your future." I immediately shouted back, "You didn't ruin anything, Dad. Your theory is correct. Just hold on for 2 more days. The market will bounce back." My parents froze for a moment, but only for a second. "Sean, the money to cover the position is gone. Don't try to stop us. I won't leave you with $4 million in debt." Damn it! I dreamed of returning to this day 1,000 times, but I didn't expect this. God granted my wish, but Dad was already too deep in despair. No matter what I said, I couldn't shake his resolve to die. I only had one shot. I grabbed my pager and yelled at him, "Dad, I have a way to cover the margin!" "What?" Hearing this, they stood frozen. It was 1998. Following the Asian financial crisis, the Hong Kong stock market took a brutal hit. The financial markets in Asia were devastated. The investment god Soros saw the pattern, used massive capital to short the market, and siphoned off billions of dollars. That's what the textbooks say. But according to my research, it was a lack of investment opportunities that created a financial loophole, which Soros exploited. Racing against time, I said, "Dad, look at the news. On August 8th, the government already announced a bailout. The central bank is injecting liquidity to protect the market. We just need to survive 2 days. By the day after tomorrow, it'll rally." Dad frowned. "Is that possible? The market crashed so fast precisely because the government couldn't intervene. A bailout would cost too much and cause inflation, crashing the entire economy." Seeing his doubt, I continued explaining. "Dad, listen to me. I've studied the economic environment. We are in an investment freeze. Global investors have cut off funding. The stock market is the only exit. The government is printing money for infrastructure projects." "Dad, you're a trader. That means they are going long." "If the government is going long, to make those infrastructure investments work, they can't let the financial outlet collapse. They will save the market." That makes sense. Somehow, Dad, a trader for his whole life, felt my logic outweighed his years of experience. After all, finance is closely tied to policy. But then Dad shook his head again. He still had no money to cover the margin. I hesitated for a moment, then gritted my teeth. "Dad, don't worry about the money. My boss saw my potential and gave me a corporate account. There's 45 million in it. You know what that means, right?" "What?" Hearing this, Dad looked like he'd been struck by lightning. Every securities group is run by a board and monitored by regulators. But to make extra cash, the board often opens a shadow account to trade on insider information and skim from the market. This is called gray trading, but it has to be done safely. "Sean, you can't touch that money," Dad cried out in despair. "If they find out, they will kill you." But I wasn't letting this chance go. I clamped my jaw shut and didn't back down. "Dad, if you want me to have a life, give me 2 days. Give me your private account login. Let me turn this around. Is it possible?" As of today, Dad had lost $2 million and needed $4.5 million to cover the position. If I touched the firm's gray money, it wasn't just a $4.5 million problem anymore. Seeing the cold determination in my eyes, Dad knew I wasn't joking. They stepped down from the ledge. With trembling hands, he gave me his account details and ID. "Sean, if you lose..." Hearing Dad's fear, I didn't hesitate. I said coldly, "If I lose, I'll jump right alongside you." I rushed back to my company, York Securities. When I arrived, my manager Evan sneered at me. "You didn't jump? Millions in debt. Wiped out completely. And you still think you can win it back? You should have just died." I ignored him completely. I ran to my desk, booted up the computer and started working. Evan was surprised. Does his family still have money? What he didn't know was I had opened the firm's corporate account. After a series of complex operations, I transferred $4.5 million out of the firm's funds. $4.5 million. Finance is gambling. It's a game with no return ticket. Even knowing the market would rebound in 2 days, I was sweating nervously. Nearby, Evan was watching me closely. With his years of experience, he knew I had just covered the position. But what he didn't expect was that I didn't stop there. I looked intense and kept typing. Evan sensed something was wrong and walked slowly toward me. After covering the margin, I stared at the screen for 10 minutes. I was hoping Mr. York wouldn't notice. But then a bold idea struck me. Leverage. The charm of the financial game is leverage, making gains grow geometrically. I decided to go all in. I transferred the remaining 40 million out. Opportunities like this happen once. If I could survive, these 2 days I could front-run Soros and take a massive bite out of his profits. Once it was done, I logged out of both accounts and ran out of the building. Even Evan wasn't stupid enough to miss that I was fleeing. Holy shit, what did he do? Embezzle funds? Evan was confused. I shouldn't have had access to firm money, but computers back then didn't have secure deletion logs. When Evan checked the system, 2 massive transfers made his legs give out. He almost collapsed. What? He touched Mr. York's account. I spent the entire night running through the city. I knew Mr. York, the chairman, was hunting me, wanting to skin me alive. I ducked into a store and wrote a 2,000-word analysis, faxing it directly to the chairman's office. Then I called my best friend, Wayne. The moment he picked up, he started screaming. Sean, do you have a death wish? Did you touch York's money? I replied guiltily. Sorry, brother. I'm putting you in a tough spot. Wayne's father was a director at York Securities, Mr. York's partner. He was the one who got me the job. We grew up together like real brothers. Even though Wayne was cursing me out, he couldn't help but ask, forget that for a second. Do you have cash? If you have nowhere to go, here's an address. Go hide there. Hearing this, my heart warmed. In my past life, when I hit rock bottom, Wayne took care of everything for me. I knew this rich kid didn't care about money, only brotherhood. I mustered up my courage. Wayne, I need to borrow money. Duh, I was just about to lend you some. I cut him off. No, I said. It's not small change. My eyes narrowed like a hunter's. Brother, I know your dad left you. $5 million in inheritance and a property. Mortgage the property. You can get $7 million. Lend me all $12 million. What? Hearing this, Wayne was dumbfounded. How the hell do I do that? I don't even have $1.2 million in my account. Trust me. After this, I'll make you set for life. Without waiting for his answer, I hung up. Then I immediately called Mr. York's office. Meanwhile, Mr. York picked up the phone and started cursing. Sean, you son of a bitch! You little rat, how dare you touch my money? Mr. York, when you gave me that account, it only had 20 million. I turned it into 45 million. Screw you! Without the board's 200 million backing it, and the insider info, you're nothing! Anyone could have made that 20 million. Mr. York was right. Any competent trader could have made that profit with that setup. But this was different. I replied calmly. Mr. York, I'm giving you a chance to multiply your worth by 10. Just back off and give me 48 hours. Are you insane? Mr. York was furious, slumping into his chair with a headache. You put it in Hong Kong stocks. Hong Kong? Why didn't you put it in Japan? You idiot! If you invested in Japanese stocks, even with a loss, I could salvage 10 million. But with the current state of Hong Kong, the money was likely gone forever. Despite his screaming, I stayed calm. I faxed you my analysis. It's your ticket to the big leagues. Go to hell. York slammed the phone down. He raged. Find that bastard within 24 hours. And kill him. Just then, the fax machine beeped. In the tense office. Mr. York didn't care about it. He tossed the paper to his advisor, Professor Clark, an economist from Cambridge University. Professor Clark took the fax, trying to comfort him. Don't worry, Mr. York. With me here, we can recover some of the cost. But as he read the fax, his eyes went wide, shifting from arrogance to pure shock.